Okay, welcome to the recorded gamecast of EE Showdown 1. Over here in the red corner, we have Mmoze, who's picked Oranos for this tournament. He's currently seeded 6th, and he's he's easily over 2,000 rating. So he's a strong player. While Mr. Boat, also experienced tournament player, he's also easily over 2,000 on EE. He has chosen to go Random God for this tournament. It is a mono god tournament, and Random God was one of the valid god choices. Mr. Boat, he's the only participant in this tournament to actually pick Random God. So it feels like he wants a bit more variety than just having to play one god throughout the whole tournament. Say these two players, there's no knowing who would come out ahead from these two. It should be a really good series to watch. I think they might be fairly close matched. I'm not sure. Mr. Boat has more experience playing in tournaments, but Mmoze, I've seen him around on Extended Edition, and he's been playing really well. He's also been doing well on ladder, beating lots of good players. So we'll see how this game goes for them. Looking at the map, we see that we have the relic Ship of Fingernails over here, which gives 0.4 food per second into your, like, if you take it, and that's about the equivalent of having hand axe. I mean, about to put that into comparison, if you grab hand axe as Atlantean and you have 2 citizens on wood, it's about 0.5 extra wood per second. So this is about the same, but in food, and food is better than wood. So this is it's a really good relic. I prioritize making the Oracle hero and getting this while aging up over hand axe. And on the other side, we see Nose of the Sphinx, 15% more hit points for buildings. Very, very useful in the late game. You stop pushes so much better, and also for Mmoze, if he sees Earthquake is coming, grabbing this relic would definitely be really, really helpful for that. So surviving the Earthquake. So 2 pretty good relics on this map. And right now we see that we've got 2 draft packs. Actually, we've only got 1 draft pack for each player. This town center for Mmoze, it's got a lot of hunt around it, so he might try to grab that quickly. I'm not sure. And this town center, meanwhile, for Mr. Boat, it's got 2 elephants sort of over here, but they're not really secure. If Mr. Boat wants to take this town center, he could, and then he could maybe try to grab those 2 elephants with a wall. That could be an option for him. Just seeing some of the things he can do. Instead, right now he's on the rounders in his base. He's got 8 villagers at home, so it looks like he's not really in any hurry to be moving out to the other hunt outside his base. He actually, that's pretty harsh. It's pretty unfortunate. It looks like he just barely missed the scouting on these gazelle, so he's not moving out to grab these gazelle. He doesn't know about them yet. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Like, as Mr. Boat, you definitely want to be out grabbing these gazelle outside your base as soon as possible before the Oranos unit flood kicks in, because once that comes in, you're not going to be able to gather these gazelle. And that's 600 food. 600 food loss. There's also 1,200 food of giraffe over here, but it's a bit further out. I'm not sure if Mr. Boat is going to be making an effort to secure these. If he just tries to grab this town center, maybe he won't be really trying to secure these giraffes at all. But yeah, we'll see how the game goes. So far, we see pretty standard things from Mmoze. He's gone for the 2-1-1 and then 2 more on food. Anti-build order. So he's going to be aging up at 430, while Mr. Boat, he's only getting his temple up now, so he's going to be aging up slightly later through Hermes. Interesting. If Mr. Boat scouted this gold mine for Mmoze, maybe he could have gone for an aggressive Ares rush. This gold mine over here, it's sort of forward, while in contrast, Mr. Boat's gold mine is really, really safe. Okay, maybe could have gone an Ares rush with a Hippolyta just sort of sitting on top of this gold mine. Instead, he's chosen to go Hermes, and he's not really he's not really choosing to scout. Instead, he's choosing to beat up, to start hitting on Mmoze's giraffe. He's actually killed the giraffe really, really far away from right over here where Mmoze is gathering it. So if this dead giraffe means that Mmoze never gets around to gathering it, that's going to be really nice for Mr. Boat. But I'd personally prioritize scouting the map a little bit. I mean, there's a huge chunk of black map over here, so Mr. Boat is going to be playing with quite a lot of missing information. But attacking these animals, yeah, it could come in handy. It's a lot of food. 300 food, 1 giraffe. Never underestimate it. It's a lot of food. And every bit of food that you can get matters, especially if it's hunt that gathers really, really fast. So Mmoze, he's up classical age through Prometheus, standard things. He's got his 2 military buildings out, so ready to start the unit flood. While Mr. Boat looks to put some pressure on this back hunt over here. But since this hunt is so far to the back, and Mmoze did age up sooner than Mr. Boat, I'm not sure if Mr. Boat can actually really put that much damage on this hunt. We see he's chosen to keep Hippolyta at home to help defend from these Promethean offspring raids, which could be quite the nuisance. Right now, his centaur has reached the hunt over here. He's also got the heroes, and Mmoze, he's got 1 hero Terma to defend this, but this 1 hero Terma, it's not going to be enough. He's going to have to pull over more units than this to just defend from this raid. Otherwise, these 2 guys are going to be forcing a lot of idle time on these 2 citizens, which is not good. Mr. Boat also finally moving out over here to the Gazelle. He's moving out with 10 villagers. That's quite a lot for such a small pack of Gazelle. Like, it probably would have been better to split some of these on the chickens. But after he finishes these Gazelles, he might try to go onto the elephants, which means that the 12 villagers is sort of appropriate if he moves on to take the elephants. After all, he's making hoplites, Hippocons, villagers, so he's going to need a lot of food to keep up on the production. So, getting these elephants, I'm guessing that's going to be Mr. Boat's plan right now. He must really, really want these elephants, but it's sort of really sketchy against an Oranos player to be moving out so far forward into the open. With 12 villagers to get these elephants. I mean, 1 bad fight on these elephants, and it could be over for you. 1 bad fight, and Oranos can really do some really, really nasty unit floods. A bit of a skirmish over here, and looks like a Terma does get picked off, but the Terma hero is fine. It's also picked up the ship of fingernails relic. So if he drops that off in the temple, that would be good for him. Now these villagers just finishing the Gazelle. Are they going to move forward to these elephants? If they do, it's going to be a nasty fight. It's going to be a big fight. You see, Mmoze, he's finally gotten he's gotten just pickaxe right now. I believe that when I was watching this game earlier, I forgot to mention, but he actually chose not to get any eco ups while aging up. So that means that he's going to be able to flood out units even harder, and that's going to be really, really good for him in this fight. Now these villagers, they're just going to sandwich between this army over here from Mmoze, and it looks like here Mr. Boat has so many more units, but then the Shockblade comes down, and all these villagers here, they're out in the open, and these Prometheans are just wreaking havoc. The elephant is also on Mmoze's side, man. So many units are falling. Let's have a look at the losses. Let's have a look at the losses for both players. Yeah, we see the villagers loss going up and up for Mr. Boat, but Mmoze is losing a lot of army. After all, Mr. Boat does have more units here, and he has got the numbers advantage. And Hippolyta finally focusing down the Prometheans. Looks like the army of Mmoze is going to be destroyed by Mr. Boat. But at what cost? Mr. Boat's down 9 villagers. He lost 9 villagers so far this game. That's really, really big. Using 10 villagers already, so his eco is going to be really far behind. And in just a while, all these numbers from all these lost units from Mmoze, they're going to be just rebuilt. Mmoze's economy is just much better now from having all these villager kills. And with this temporary military advantage Mr. Boats has right now, I'm not sure there's much he can do. Like he could try to go down here maybe. He's also got to worry about his own hunt. These giraffes, they're definitely wide open, and two of these villagers here, they're from the fight from the elephants. They're really low, and if this hero Murmelo just runs down, he could pick them off on their own, in his own. Instead, we see Mr. Boat. He's chosen to move his army back. He's also got this position now. There's lots of low units here, so this position is going to be getting out a lot of value. These Hippicons really damaged. These hoplites, some of these hoplites almost dead. Yeah, this is a really good physician usage. It's going to be getting a lot of value. But this army being over here, it's a bit sketchy. It's a bit sketchy. If Mmoze comes down and finds this hunt, there's going to be absolutely nothing defending it, and it'll probably be game if Mmoze finds this hunt over here. You also see Mr. Boat actually going for some centaurs right now. You don't usually see that as Poseidon. He's got two villagers on the temple, and he's making some centaurs. Let's have a look at what his resources are like. Yeah, so he's got a pretty effective raid going. He's going to be able to pick off a citizen, and then just escape from these Terma heroes. Now, I actually really like the choice of making centaurs here. Like, because on extended edition, if you look at these centaurs, they actually have 5.2 speed. If you played on the original game, they only have 5 speed without an upgrade. And what this 5.2 speed means is that these Terma heroes, they're not able to hit the centaurs while they're running. So you can see that they keep dodging the arrow fires, and these Terma heroes, they're just missing. These centaurs, they're going to be getting good value in fights. And here we see another fight break out, potentially. But it looks like Mr. Boat's army should be a bit stronger with all these hoplites and these two really strong Greek heroes. He's also got the two centaurs in the back here, being healed by the physician. Oh, but it's kind of sketchy pushing in so deep without the two centaurs just backing you up. And Mmoze could just turn around and fight this. I mean, he's got the production over here. See a bit of idle time being forced here by the scout, just whacking away at these two citizens. But it's just a scout. It's not going to do any harm, but it does delay Mmoze a little bit. But then the scout is now down. If we look at the hero Murmelo, it's actually got 5.28 speed because the Oranos speed bonus, and also heroes being, I believe, also 10% faster. So the hero Murmelo is actually faster than these centaurs, and is going to be able to do some damage on it. It looks like this round is happening now. Look at Shockwave. Shockwave isn't quite ready yet for Mmoze, but if Shockwave was, he would definitely be turning around and fighting this. These drafts here, so Mr. Boat is going to be able to get these drafts without any problems. And he's playing really aggressive now. Just moving in. See a bit of back and forth. He doesn't want to move into the base of Mmoze with the watchtowers, of course. But then once the gold runs out, Mmoze is going to have to choose a gold mine to move out to, and I don't know which would be good for him. We look at the gold. Mmoze has only got 130 gold left. He's also choosing to invest in the second tungsten right about now. You see a fight happening in middle, but then these centaurs, they're being taken out of the fight by the Terma here. I like it. These Terma here, they're gonna die so fast once these Hippicon get onto them. These Murmelo heroes are just so much stronger than the hoplites once they have the medium upgrades. Remember, this fight looks like it's going to go in Mmoze's favor for a little bit. These expensive Terma heroes are just being taken out. Yeah. So despite taking the second town center, we see that Mmoze is actually able to beat Mr. Boat in a fight. So that's a massive win for him. He's going to back off now. We see Shockwave come down, but I'm not sure if it's the best use of the Shockwave. I mean, these units are retreating anyway, and they're quite tanky, so it's going to help Mmoze kill one Hippicon at most. Probably not the best use of Shockwave, but still decent nonetheless. Picking off free units is always welcome. And with this fight won, it looks like Mmoze absolutely won't have any problems with the gold. Mr. Boat just missing the medium infantry upgrade, not able to take the fight. Medium infantry there for Mmoze was absolutely huge in that battle. Really need to be making sure you have the upgrade with as soon as you got like 10 or so hoplites. It makes such a massive difference. Also has to be careful not to be losing these units. Now, in turn, it looks like Mr. Boat might be the one that has to worry about getting gold starved now. He's got the villagers over here from the giraffe. They're onto the gold mine right down here. And Mmoze, he's got his oracles. He got his oracle all the way down here. It could have been here in Scatterboat, this TC on the gold mine, but I guess that would be picked off if any villager tried to move to the berries. I mean, seen. So this oracle is it's in a really sneaky location. It's not going to be found, and it keeps a good eye on this TC. But then he doesn't know about this gold being mined. But if he like looking from Mmoze's point of view, he's got vision on this gold mine, vision on this gold mine. He's got vision on this side with the oracle over here. So he can sort of guess that once this gold mine runs out from Mr. Boat, then Mr. Boat will definitely be over here. Mr. Boat now securing this gold mine with walls. I like it. Absolutely necessary. Really need to make sure this gold mine is secured with walls. I'm just going in from one of these raids. And this army, it's moving in here now. The army of Mr. Boat, again, a bit out of position. Might not be able to defend these units moving in. Now we see it's actually Mmoze moving in to take these elephants in the middle. That's going to be a lot of hunt for Mmoze. Big hunt advantage. Taking these elephants if Mr. Boat never gets around to taking these. Now also just sees the gold mine. He's moving in now. He's got the walls over here. And Mr. Boat really needs to pull in these units over here. This is going to be a big raid on these gold mines. Ooh, Mr. Boat, good reactions. Noticing fast enough. Also doing some counter raids on his own. Really nice counter raid over here. And he's also going to be able to find the citizen on this TC. In the meantime, he's in a bit of fight over here, but oh, these hoplites are going to get on the Turma, and if Mr. Boat's not paying attention, they're going to fall so fast. The citizen is also completely surrounded, pressed against the TC by all these Hippotons. It's going to be picked off. That's really massive raid for Mr. Boat and a big win. Meanwhile, all these Turma falling, they get absolutely shredded by these hoplites. In most infantry, you do bonus damage against Turma, about 50% for hoplites. So yeah, really good raids coming in from Mr. Boat, and also good pick off on these Turmas. You see Mmoze, he's split between two gold mines here. I personally want to see a miner come down about here just to make sure any raids don't happen. In the meantime, you see actually a really big army from Mmoze. He's got 18 Murmelos. Yeah, he's got 22 Murmelos, really huge army. Well, Mr. Boat, he's only got 12, so Mmoze coming down to this location. This could be a problem. If Mr. Boat is not able to secure this gold, then it will be game. And I wonder how close Mmoze is up to advancing. Yeah, he's got the food to advance. He's almost got the resources. With Hyperion coming in, he could just move on to this gold mine and gold starve, and that would be really devastating. Just wonder how Mr. Boat's going to cope. Mr. Boat really needs to get his medium upgrades to just have a chance in this fight. You see the army coming down in here for Mmoze, but it's going to be a bit too late. This town center is going to come up without any problems, but that's just going to be Mr. Boat's second town center. Well, Mmoze is already on 3 TCs. Got a bit of a choke point here, and these Tokuses these centaurs are all doing really good work. These Churma are not able to get around to these units thanks to this really nice choke point. So this is a really nice fight for Mr. Boat to take. Oh my god, that's so expensive! Converting all these Murmelos into heroes. I guess Mmoze desperately wants to win this fight. No, this isn't going to work. All these units are falling now, and that's going to be a really big win for Mr. Boat, and it's going to help him come back into the game. Look at the units lost. Massive difference. It's a really bad fight for Mmoze. He's going to lose all these hero Murmelos as well. It's so expensive converting them into heroes manually. Really should have just waited for Hyperion to come in, and he could gold starve over here. There's absolutely no need to be pushing in on there, and the hero Murmelos That's going to be really, really costly for Mmoze. Also see the Centaur Pole Mark upgrade coming in from Mr. Boat. Now you don't see that very often. Poseidon using Centaur heroes to fight against Oranos. You don't see that very often. You see another fight breaking out in the middle. Hippolyta does get into the Stymphalian Bird, but the Stymphalian Bird, it's headed towards this gold mine, and Hippolyta loses focus of it. And the Stymphalian Bird is going to be wreaking havoc on these 7 villagers while the fight's happening in the middle. Hippolyta needs to focus on these dryads. Right now the numbers for this fight seem about even, but Mmoze is just constantly flooding units in, while I believe Mr. Boat, he's turned all his production off. He's not got the food to continue spamming hoplites like he did for most of the game. In the meantime, this Stymphalian Bird is doing work on these gold villagers. Mr. Boat not quite noticing yet. Well, he does bring the centaurs over, but then there's also this hero Murmillo here that he has to cope with, and the bird actually does quite a lot of damage to the centaurs. The centaurs do pick off the bird. It costs 1 centaur, definitely worth it, but the bird has already picked off 3 of these villagers for Mr. Boat. Quite painful. Mr. Boat really needs to finish off this wall over here to help secure this gold mine. If we look at the score difference, we actually see the score is pretty close. The score is pretty close, but then if you look at the pop difference, wow, it just looks like Mmoze is doing way better on everything. He's got more villagers. He's got 145, 145 pop, as opposed to Mr. Boat's 85 pop. He's got full map control. And Mmoze is just in a way better position now, but the score doesn't reflect that because of this massive fight down here. Man, just look at this army. It's so big compared to this. Mr. Boat's only on 90 population. If this army just moved down here and attacked this gold mine, that could be game over. There's no way that Mr. Boat can defend this. But instead, he's scouted. He sees Mr. Boat going for this other TC over here, and he's going to be able to deny it. If you look at Mmoze's perspective, he's got a sneaky oracle over here. Yeah, and it forces the C-Spire. Forces the C-Spire. Mr. Boat's just so far behind at this point. But one thing he does have going for him is that as Poseidon, he should have the better late game if he can survive that long. But if he isn't able to secure any gold mines, that's not going to happen. And he's also another concern is that is Mr. Boat going to be able to deal with Tartarian Gate? If you're behind, if you don't have any heavy myth units, you're just in the classical age, you've only got a few hoplites, it's going to be really difficult to stop this Tartarian Gate that's inevitably going to happen. And we see that Hecate is now going through for Mmoze. You see, also got this really big army just parked outside Mr. Boat's base during the C-Spire. Mr. Boat does see it from the watchtower, so he knows it's there. What can you do about it? Hecate is coming as well. And this lure is still here. It didn't do its job. It didn't convert the 1,000 food. That's why it's still here. Unfortunate. I really hate when that happens. They're not converting all the food it can. Now Mr. Boat is trying to find a wall up. It looks like the army is now coming down here for Mmoze. He's also got the forward production building spam. They're going to be able to flood into this gold mine. And yeah, this is going to be nasty. It's going to be really nasty. In the meantime, Mr. Boat also has 2 gold mines over here. But these are in no way secure. And it will still be dangerous to move out. See the fight coming down now. Mr. Boat has managed to come back a bit more in population, but then looks like Mmoze, he's still got way more units. He's also flooding in all these units down here now. I don't see Mr. Boat just winning this fight in the long term. He's gonna be just kicked off with this gold mine. Honestly. See all these villagers falling. Now, Mr. Boat, he's got 700 gold in the bank, but he's also got no more gold income. You see Tartarian Gate being cast now on the left town center. Meanwhile, Mr. Boat's army, well, it doesn't have that many units, isn't able here to deal with it. In fact, I really like this Tartarian Gate because it sort of stops this gold mine from being mined. It really fits into the gold starve. Now with this gold mine being unsafe and these two gold mines just being stopped by the Tartarian Gate, there's no way that Mr. Boat can take down the Tartarian Gate with just these few villagers over here. Looks like it's going to be game. There's just too much stuff going on right now for Mr. Boat. He's only 700 square behind. Well, I say only, 700 is quite big, but yeah, this situation is way worse than that for him. He's trying to move back out on this gold mine, but that's not going to happen. See, Fire Siphon's now moving in. Fire Siphon's... you don't actually want to kill these buildings from Poseidon since he gets militia, but then this Fire Siphon, I guess it's really good at absorbing the Toxitate's Pierce attack since it has 96% armor. And it could also be working on this town center later on as well. Meanwhile, this other town center, it's going to fall to just these Tartarian spawns, and this gold mine is going to be completely unsafe. This gold mine as well, not in the open. This gold mine, not going to last very long. I don't see Mr. Boat coming back from this. Yeah. Mr. Boat now desperately scouting with his villagers to see if there's any gold in this corner, of which there isn't. This Tartarian Gate is still going strong. Citizens here just being picked off left and right. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Rebuilding the town center. And Mr. Boat taps out. So, wow. Really well played. Mmoze. And with a fight here, I would like that. Well, I can't say it's almost a comeback, but that was a really good fight for Mr. Boat. Really good trick point. Good hold. Now, one thing that I think went really badly for Mr. Boat in this game is the scouting. He got a bit unlucky in just missing the gazelle over here. Like, he could have scooped that up in our cage with like 3 or 4 villagers, and then it would be perfectly fine. And also, the giraffe sort of spawned a bit far out in the open, a bit exposed. So it was a difficult map for Mr. Boat, and also the scouting that was really problematic. Just missing such a huge chunk of the map over here and not knowing where his resources are, and then that led to sort of the panic gathering of the food in the middle, sending 12 villagers, which is way too many out here, and then onto the elephants, which he wasn't able to secure, and that lost so many villagers, and that I think that's what cost him the game, losing all these villagers over here on the elephant and just not getting the food that he needed, which stemmed in the first place from scouting issues, not being able to see this hunter or the giraffe over here, which is a bit unlucky for Mr. Boat. It's a bit unlucky, but maybe beating up the giraffe over here was not the right decision. Instead, going for a more thorough scouting of the map was. I don't think that paid off at all for Mr. Boat. It was a cute idea though. It was an interesting idea. Look at military units. Yeah, so we see Mmoze's just ahead all game. 4 resources total. It's about even for the first 7 minutes thanks to Lure, but then with these villagers walking forward, it's just so much idle time on these giraffes. I mean, just so much walking time all the way out from the base. These 12 villagers, and that's where we start to see things branch off, and Mmoze getting a big resource lead, because Mr. Boat has such a large amount of walking time. Like, naturally, Oranos should have more resources than Poseidon anyway going into the mid game, just because of how efficient citizens are. But yeah, this resource lead just gets worse and worse, along with the fast TCs that Mmoze was able to take. So good game. So now that's 1-0 for Mmoze.